services. So obviously I'm going to look at products as well, but we'll start with services, because obviously you take a slightly different approach to both of those things. So for services, FAB content refers to features, advantages and benefits. And big hat tip to XMO Marketing, who basically came up with this concept. As far as I'm aware, it was Andy Jarvis from XMO Marketing that first introduced me to this idea of FAB, or it should really be BAF. Remember to talk first about the benefit to your customer or client of the service that you're offering. What exact aspect of their life gets easier? That's what you should be talking about first. It's really tempting to kind of, talk about your amazing features and, all the things that you're so proud of about the service that you've created. But you really should focus on the problem that you solve for them. That's why they're here. You're reverse engineering their thinking, if you like. They're on your website to find out if you can fix their problem or, provide something they need. The so what test, it's a little bit brutal, but it's effective. Every time you want to write something on your services page, say to yourself, so what? And just what does that actually mean? Why should the client care? So what? So it's, like I said, a bit brutal, but it's a good way to cut through the rubbish. Outline your processes. That's pretty straightforward. If someone's going to engage you to provide a service, they want to know exactly what you will need from them. So I find it's really, really helpful, almost necessary, I would say, to describe exactly what they can expect from you. Talk about your onboarding processes, and get them ready for, do as much of the work as you can before they get in touch with you, so they're kind of prepared. Maybe even get some of this information ready for you if you need some information before you maybe take them on as a client. Pricing, it's really the endless question for service-based businesses. Do you show your pricing or not? There's strong reasons for and against. If you decide not to show your pricing, a lot of people, kind of shy away from the idea of, showing their pricing to, rivals who might undercut them. And there's also the fact that if you offer a service, it's highly likely that you work in quite a bespoke way. And you won't actually really know what your prices or your fees are for a particular client until you know exactly what it is they want from you exactly. So there are a few options for kind of not getting around it, but giving people an idea of your pricing without having a rate card, a traditional rate card or a price list. So you can signature service. If you could maybe even define an example of something you can do, or even put together an example package. Like, for example, for me, I could put together 2 blog posts, certain amount of social content, and a newsletter every month will cost X amount of pounds. That way it kind of gives people an idea. They can sort of frame in their head, okay, well, that's a bit more, a bit less than what I would need. So it gives them an idea before they get in touch with you, and it might help them to get past that friction of, I don't want to get in touch before I know what it costs. Another idea is just simply to describe the affordability. Is it affordable for startups with small budgets, for example? Describe who it would work for, give some people an idea of the ballpark they're in. Or you can just actually explain exactly how you reach your pricing. Clearly define all the variables you take into consideration when you're quoting a price or a fee. Again, on these pages, it's really important to have, if you have them, testimonials from happy customers. Case studies are really, really powerful pieces of long form content, basically just telling the story of a successful customer journey, basically. So I usually do it in 3 chunks. You start off with the problem they had, the solution you offered them, and then the result at the end of it. How they were left better off. They're really easy to put together, and they're really effective ways of helping people to imagine themselves engaging your services. So yeah, and again, obviously portfolios and examples of work, that really speaks for itself. You know, if you have relevant, you know, for example, myself, I've got, you know, examples of articles I've written before, you know, social media content, links to websites. I've written things like that just to give people an idea of the you know, the range of work I've done and my abilities. And again, as with every page on your website, a call to action: send them somewhere relevant now, maybe send them to your content page.